Garden. This is the asparagus bed, and it's still picking it about every day. We set out some cabbage in front of it that we started from seed. So we have asparagus and cabbage here. Then we sowed three different kinds of lettuce in these blocks in the front of the asparagus bed, and some of it is just starting to come up. And we got our garlic weeded out and hayed around. So this is our garlic, and it's looking pretty good. It's not starting to swell at all, but the plants look pretty healthy. So this is our garlic. Then this is our Stoll's evergreen sweet corn that we started from seed in the flats, and we got it set out and we got it hayed around. Over in the pots on the fence, those are our Better Boy tomatoes. And we've got these started and staked and ready. And we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pots of these. And these are our Better Boys. These are pots of daylilies. We've had them in pots for several years, and we're just letting them grow and spread and multiply. And we've got an idea of doing a flower bed around the mailbox in the front yard eventually with these, but right now they're just pretty daylilies in pots. On this fence, that's Swiss chard we've had growing. And then we have broccoli in front of this fence. And then on the back side of this fence, we planted pickling cucumbers. So all the way down this fence, we have pickling cucumbers planted. And of course, we just planted them the other day, and they're not coming up at all. These two rows, we have peppers that we started from seed. This row is Cubanelle, all Cubanelle peppers. And then this row from this plant on is Emerald Giant bell peppers. We started those from seed. Now these 4 plants from here on, we bought these. These are the mammoth jalapeno we love and we can't get seed for, so we always buy 4 or 5 plants of these. But here's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are our mammoth jalapeno. Those great big jalapenos we like. All right, on this side of this fence, we are going to plant our Roma tomatoes. We do not have them planted yet. We've got them started in flats and they're ready to set out. Just ran out of time. In between and on this side of this row, we're going to have more Roma tomatoes. Again, we've got them ready. We just didn't have time to put them out, but we're going to get them out this week. In between these 2 rows, we are going to have a double row of some sort of bush green bean, either the Contender or the Blue Lake. This is another row of broccoli down the middle, and we're going to plant more bush green beans on either side of that, either the Contender or the Blue Lake. One's going to be Contender and the other's going to be Blue Lake. We don't know which we're going to put where yet. Here are our beautiful girls. Running away. This is funny. This is our thornless blackberries, and we built that trellis out front, and we had them just sitting back here. Our thornless blackberries sitting in pots till we got the trellis ready, and they sat there, a couple of years before we got the trellis ready and felt like putting them out. And so we just pulled the pots up, and it left some roots in the ground that had grown out of underneath the pot, and now these have come back from the roots. So we're going to start potting these up and just let this be our area where we farm plants for the thornless blackberries. But they're so healthy and pretty, and we are starting to get little blackberries. Lots of pretty blooms and blackberries. I said I was going to make this quick. These are impatiens we got today, and we wanted to do the pond filter. You know how we put the impatiens in the pond filter, and we ran out of time, but we'll get that in sometime this week or next weekend too. These are extra plants we haven't set out yet. We bought these peppers, some sweet banana peppers, and 2 other kind of peppers. Oh, these, the monster jalapeno we didn't have seed for. So we planted our Cubanelles from our seed that we saved last year, and our emerald giant bell peppers from seed we saved last year. But we bought sweet banana and mammoth jalapeno and monster jalapeno. And somewhere we bought little eggplants. We bought some eggplants we're going to set out too. These are our Roma tomatoes that we started from seed, and we left them out one night. I think they got a little too cold. They're starting to curl, but I think they'll be fine. We just need to get them in the ground and give them a little TLC. I think they're going to be fine. We need to get them out. Strawberries are starting to get ripe. There's a pretty one. I'm going to pick him in just a minute. Okay, it's looking good. Starting to get strawberries, especially in these pots on the side. These are our candy onions, one patch of them. This row is our Siberian kale, and it's starting to go to seed, so we still need to harvest it. And we're going to harvest what hasn't started to bolt yet and get it canned, so then we can plant. See, we are going to plant on this row. Trying to remember. Oh, we're going to do climbing green beans on this row. So this whole fence will go for climbing green beans. I'm going to take down these collards. We just left them blooming as long as we could to bring in pollinators. You can see a honeybee right there working the blooms. But when we take these collards out, we are going to plant more green beans here, either the contender or the blue lake. This is a row of squash we started from seed in flats, and we've set it out. It's looking good. These are more candy onions in this row. Red Russian kale. More candy onions. And they're starting to get good and thick and pretty, some of them. Not swelling, but look good, thick, nice stalks. And I wanted to show you our potato bed. Hang on, let me walk around to the other side. Hard. Alright, these are our red Lesotho potatoes that I showed you that we just kind of threw out on the ground and put hay on top because we found some that we had saved from last year. And we dig down a little bit. We are getting, I found them the other day. Oh, there's one. Yeah, right there. We're getting potatoes. And look at the earthworms. They're just running from me. There's the earthworm. And where we dig down here. All right, hang on. Let me find you another potato. There's another spot. Potatoes. That I saw. There's another one right there. So we're getting potatoes under here. Just keep them good and covered. But they're doing all right as long as we get a few. I mean, it'd be definitely worth doing. Nothing as good as a good fresh potato. All right, I'm going to pan across. These are the same potatoes we planted the same day. The same exact potatoes we found in the box that we had left from last year. Here, we planted a batch at the same exact time. I'm going to try to pan real slow. There's more. And there's more. We did them the exact same way. And they're pitiful here. And we've decided, we keep going, and look at these onions. These are the same exact onions. We either planted it the same day or it was the next day. I mean, planted at the same time. And these onions on this end are poor and pitiful. And this little area here stays underwater. It's just like a bog through here. So we're thinking this area just stays too wet. These are the same potatoes, planted the same day, and this area is wetter. That area by the raised bed is raised as well, and it's just up higher. This area gets real boggy, and it's been really, really rainy this season. So these potatoes are doing horribly where it's wet. These are the same onions we planted probably 3 or 4 days later because they were just left over and we didn't have a spot to plant them, and we just, I don't know, something was growing here. We just pulled it and planted the onions over here just to see what they do. And it is very shady over here, and you can see, I mean, they're just doing absolutely nothing. Pitiful. So you definitely got to put your onions somewhere where they get plenty of sunlight. I mean, these are just doing nothing. We're going to leave them. Maybe they'll still end up doing something, but in comparison to those others, they're just pitiful. We talked today, I forgot, about digging these up and maybe putting them over in that asparagus bed by the cabbage just to give them a fighting chance. I don't know if we're going to do that or not yet, but we might. We'll see. Yeah, so one other thing. These are the knockout roses I talked about earlier, where Alan just laid the stem on the ground and put a brick on it and it rooted, and we put them in pots. Well, one of our knockouts in the front bed is dying, so we're going to dig it out and we're going to replace it with this guy. So I'll do a video when we move it, or either I'll just come and show you what it looks like. I guess that is about it for now. Thanks for watching. While I was talking earlier in the video about what we were going to do, what was still left on the list, pulling collards was on there, but Alan went ahead and started pulling them while I was doing the video. And so we went ahead and pulled all the collards and stuck them in here, and the girls are loving this. So we pulled all the collards out of that row, and then we went back and just pulled a little bit of the grass that had come up in the hay, and it's about ready to plant. So he's going to plant that tomorrow, probably. It's on the list of stuff to get done next week. Anyway, these are some happy chickens. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching.